Hello students, welcome to the channel. So today in this video we are going to cover some questions with their brief explanation. So let's discuss this first question. A hypochromic shift is a displacement of a band. Options are option A to a longer wavelength, option B to a shorter wavelength, option C an increase in absorption intensity, and option D a decrease in absorption intensity. So the correct answer is a decrease in absorption intensity. A hypochromic shift is a displacement of a band towards a decrease in absorption intensity. So let's discuss with the help of explanation. So here we are, it shows that it is a wavelength on x-axis and it is a absorption intensity on y-axis. So it is a decrease in absorption intensity, it is called hypochromic shift, and increase in absorption intensity called hyperchromic shift, and increase in wavelength known as bathochromic shift, and decrease in wavelength called hypsochromic shift. So this is all about the bands and absorption intensity and about wavelength. So coming on next question, that toxic metabolite of paracetamol, and here we have options are option A parabenzoquinone amine, option B N-acetyl parabenzoquinone imine, and option C N-acetyl para-aminophenol, and option D acetaminophen. So which is the correct answer? Which is the toxic metabolite of paracetamol? So the correct answer is N-acetyl parabenzoquinone imine is the toxic metabolite of paracetamol. So let's discuss about this. NAPQI, N-acetyl parabenzoquinone imine. It is a byproduct produced during the xenobiotic metabolism of the analgesic paracetamol, that is acetaminophen. Actually it is normally produced only just small amounts and then almost immediately detoxified in liver. So let's discuss we just observe the justification in the coming slide. That here we have a acetaminophen, that is paracetamol. It goes into the body, then 2% of this acetaminophen was excreted in urine, and about 90% of acetaminophen where glucuronidation sulfonation takes place. So this metabolite is formed, that is non-toxic, but about 5 to 9% with the help of CYP2E1 it converts into NAPQI and leads to the hepatic necrosis. So let's discuss or take a overview of this. That NAPQI is a minor metabolite. After that it is detoxified by the liver, that is glutathione. It is detoxified by liver, that is by glutathione. When we take a large dose of paracetamol, then glucuronidation capacity is saturated after the large dose of paracetamol, and then hepatic glutathione is depleted after the large dose of paracetamol taken. Then it leads to the saturation and hepatic glutathione is depleted, and after that because here glutathione detoxified, but now the hepatic glutathione level is depleted, and leads to the metabolites, binds to the liver cell and leads to the necrosis, that is hepatic necrosis. I hope student this doubt is clear by this diagram and this flow chart. So coming on the next question, acetazolamide is chemically, and the options are option A 5-acetamido 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. Option B is 5-methamido 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. Option C 5-ethoxy 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. Option D 5-benzamide 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. So the correct answer is acetazolamide is chemically 5-acetamide 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. So let's discuss in explanation part. First we just study the structure of the acetazolamide, that it is a structure of the acetazolamide and the IUPAC naming is 5-acetamido 1,3,4 thiodiazole 2-sulfonamide. So coming on our next question, myocardial disease is due to the deficiency of, and the options are option A glucose 6-phosphatase, option B phosphofructokinase, option C phosphorylase, liver phosphorylase, option D muscle phosphorylase. So the correct answer is muscle phosphorylase. Myocardial disease is due to the deficiency of muscle phosphorylase. So let's discuss about the myocardial disease in detail. Myocardial disease, it is a rare inherited condition cause severe muscle pain and cramping. Students just try to note down that in this the muscle pain and cramping occurs, and it is caused by inability to produce an enzyme known as phosphorylase or myophosphorylase. Students try to note down that it is due to this phosphorylase or myophosphorylase, which is needed to break down of glycogen, which is the stored form of sugar. Without the enzyme, glycogen can't be used to produce energy. If the enzyme is not produced, then glycogen can't be used to produce energy during exercise, and this condition is also known as glycogen storage disease type 5 or GSD 5, phosphorylase deficiency and myophosphorylase deficiency, because it is occurred due to phosphorylase or myophosphorylase deficiency. So here we just we also just see in this diagram that it shows the myocardial disease, that in myocardial disease absence of muscle phosphorylase prevents separation of glucose 1-phosphate from glycogen during exercise. So I hope students about myocardial disease it's clear. So coming on next question, span 40 is chemically, and the options are option A sorbitan monooleate, option B sorbitan molopalmitate, option C sorbitan monostearate, option D none of these. So the correct answer is sorbitan monopalmitate. Span 40 is chemically sorbitan monopalmitate. So let's discuss in detail. And here we have a trick also to learn this, that span 20 and twin 20 is laurate, and about span 40 twin 40 palmitate, 60 span twin 60 stearates, span 80 and span twin 80 oleate. So the trick is LPSO. So you can also learn is lovely public school office. L for lovely, P for public, S for school, O for office. So it's all about this. So the correct answer is next question is anti-plaque factor is, and the options are riboflavin, niacin, TPP, pantothenic acid, and the correct answer is niacin. Anti-plaque factor is niacin. So let's discuss with the help of explanation. We have just given the riboflavin about, it's all about lesions and dermatitis, where niacin it's all about pellagra, and TPP coenzyme of vitamin B1 that is related to beriberi, and pantothenic acid that is vitamin B5 related to anemia. So the correct answer is niacin. Moving on, next question. Bacterial cell wall is made up of, options are option A N-acetylmuramic acid, option B amino acid, option C N-acetylglucosamine, option D all of these. So the correct answer is that bacterial cell wall is made up of all of these, that is N-acetylmuramic acid, amino acid, and N-acetylglucosamine. So let's discuss with the help of explanation. Bacterial cell walls, it's all about the bacterial cell wall, that they are made up of peptidoglycan, that is also called murin, and peptidoglycan consists N-acetylmuramic acid, amino acid, and N-acetylglucosamine, which is made from polysaccharide chains cross-linked by unusual peptide containing D amino acids. Bacterial cell walls are different from the cell walls of plant and fungi, which are made up of cellulose and chitin respectively. So the cell wall of bacteria is also distinct from that of archaea, which do not contain peptidoglycan. So next question is units of rate constant in second order reactions is, options are option A mole liter inverse time inverse, B time inverse, option C mole inverse liter time inverse, option D mole square inverse liter square inverse time inverse. So the correct answer or unit of rate constant in a second order reaction is mole inverse liter time inverse. So let's discuss with the help of explanation. Here we have just given a order, rate law, concentration time equation, and their half-life or graphical plot. So about the zero order, it is rate is equal to k naught, and the concentration time equation is a naught is equal minus a is equal to k naught t. And what is about half-life? A naught upon 2k naught. And the graph occur between a versus t, where first order is about rate is equal to k1 a, and the concentration time equation is equal to log a naught upon a is equal to kt upon 2.303, and half life 0.693 upon k, where the graphical plot is occur between log a versus t. And what about second order? It's rate is equal to k2 is equal to a square, and concentration time equation is 1 upon a is equal to kt plus 1 upon a naught, and half life is 1 upon k2 into a naught, and the graphical plot occurs between 1 upon a versus time. So it is, and the now talking about their units, that for zero order it is mole liter inverse second inverse or this, and for one order it is this, and for two order liter mole inverse, and for three order liter square mole square inverse s inverse or m square inverse or s inverse. So it's all about the orders unit and their equations. So coming on the next question, which among the following is not a property of ionic bond? So options are option A, losing of electrons, option B, gaining of electrons, option C, sharing of electrons, option D, transfer of electrons. So the correct answer is sharing of electrons. So it is not a property that ionic bond is not having the property of sharing of electrons. That ionic bond results from A to B and D, but the sharing of electron is a property of covalent bond. It's not a property of ionic bond. So the correct answer is sharing of electron. So next question, yohimine is, options are option A, non-selective alpha blocker, option B, selective alpha 1 blocker, option C, selective alpha 2 blocker, option D, selective alpha 2 blocker with slight alpha 1 agonistic activity. Students, this is the question arises every year from the classification part, and it is very important, so try to get memorized and get revised on daily time. So the correct answer is selective alpha 2 blocker. Yohimine is selective alpha 2 blocker. So let's discuss with the help of classification part that non-selective alpha blocker are phenoxybenzamine, phentolamine or tolazoline, where selective alpha 1 blocker are prazosin, terazosin, duoxazosine, indoramide or urapidil, and selective alpha 2 blockers yohimine, atipamezole, rovolcine. You can also learn is that YAR is selective alpha 2, YAR is selective alpha 2, and where selective alpha 2 blocker with slightly alpha 1 agonistic activity are phenylephrine and methoxamine. Student, this is all about the classification, so try to get revised on time these classification, because every year the question arises from these portions. So it's all about this video. Thank you.